Soon to leave alone Sunday, all the tea getting spilled. Nail text, talking game, keeping it real, y'all gon' feel. From designs to the drama, every secret they reveal. Stay sharp, stay tuned, man, you know it's the deal.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Nail on Sunday podcast with me, Chris, my beautiful host, and my twinkle on my Christmas tree, the angel to my sparkle, my beautiful wife, Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi honey, how are you?
Tired.
Today's Boxing Day, and if you don't know what Boxing Day is, I actually researched this for you guys. Boxing Day is the name given to December 26th here in the UK. And a lot of people say it's because you throw out all of your rubbish boxes from the Christmas presents. But apparently it's because ministers or priests used to go around, or the church, the clergy, the mafia, don't sue me bro, used to go around and any gifts that were donated, they would give to the poorer community, and they basically go around just opening boxes. So there you go. I thought that'd be a fun fact. Because when we say to our Canadian friends and American friends, oh, we'll do this such and such on Boxing Day, they're like, I'm just what?
Yeah, so what maybe British people don't realise, and what we didn't realise until we started spending a huge amount of time in America, is that in America, Christmas Day or Christmas time is just Christmas Day.
Yeah.
The same as so they have Thanksgiving, which is...
I'd say Christmas Eve is... I'd say in the UK, Christmas Eve, for instance, here, a lot of people go out and party.
Well, but what I mean is here in the UK, a lot of people will stop work kind of maybe the Friday before Christmas, and then that'll be them for 2 weeks. A lot of businesses shut down for 2 weeks. Yeah. But in America, it's just Christmas Day is just Christmas Day. There's no day before, there's no day after it, there's no bank holidays, extra holidays, whatever. It's just Christmas Day and on.
Most people just go back to work.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always thought that was really weird, only because we're not used to it.
I think when you're younger, especially in Christmas, you would get trashed. Well,
I never did.
Your aunts would get trashed.
Never did.
No?
No.
Do you ever go to out parties after?
Absolutely not, no. Christmas is not for parties. Christmas is for family time. That's it. Chris isn't very good at family time, so that'll be all
Do you know what? I've done excellent this Christmas. I woke up on Christmas morning.
He woke up, well done, yep.
And I had Christmas time with the boys. It was nice, we opened presents. And then we did Christmas with your family. Oh, my son was there. We did Christmas.
Yeah, we did Christmas.
I burnt a goose because Rebecca wanted it well done for some.
I didn't want it well done. I just didn't want it rare.
Jesus Christ! Everyone Gordon Ramsay was like, "Yes, do it this, do it that way." And Rebecca's like, "Oh, actually, no. I think you should cook it for double the amount
Here's
of time."
Here's what happened. All over the internet was very conflicting information. So,
tell you what's not conflicting. This week's podcast is all about a year-end review, and I would also like to have a little crystal ball. Look into the future of 2025. I was thinking that too. Do you know whose podcast I was listening to, which is much better than ours? Shan's podcast. And she was on with Jovan the other day. And they were doing something kind of similar. They were talking about reflecting on the year and planning for the future. And do you know what Shan had said? I don't know have I mentioned this?
About an event?
An event.
Yeah, you did mention this.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's how our year started, isn't it?
And that segues me straight into how did our year start? 2024.
God, yeah, it's 2024, isn't it? Coming to an end.
It feels like such a long time.
Funnily enough, I got an email from the venue that we had our event in saying, would you like an event next year? I mean, it was a really great venue, but the event was fantastic. So we started our year, 7th of January, 2024.
Well, we actually started on January 1st, the same as everybody else, but in real terms.
The first milestone of our year was the event, which was so good. And our brand has grown so much since then. And I can't imagine how many people would come to another one. And it's one of those ones, isn't it, where people want to see proof of concept with an event. They want to see they like to see last year's video or the last event's video and things like that. So yeah, I think this next one would be amazingly more amazing.
So
it was so amazing anyway. It can't be any more amazing, but I mean there would be so much more people.
Well, what I'll try and do is I'll get some footage and throw it up on the screen so people can see some of the shenanigans that was going on.
It was so good.
But just give people an oversight. When did you start planning this? A couple of weeks before?
August 2023.
Jesus Christ. So it took you 6 months to plan this?
Yes.
And at what point in time did you want to kill yourself?
Very quickly. And it would be after we announced it and I realised there was no going back. I was like, why have I done this? Genuinely, I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever done to myself. Why have we done this? This is awful. It was just so stressful. It was more actually trying to sell the tickets and corral people to come to the event. everybody who came to the event was like blown away about how amazing it is. And I don't think we're blowing our own trumpet by saying this, but it's hands down the best industry event that I've ever been to, only because we'd been to industry events, and whilst we liked some elements of, these other events, there was things where we're like, oh, and that didn't work for us personally. So as an example, I knew when we did our event, I didn't want to force anybody to be anywhere at one particular time. I wasn't going to corral everybody into one room, have to sit and be talked at for a period of time and like continue the day like that, because not everybody does well with that, especially if you're a neurospicy, like most of us here at Nail Order, being sat and being talked at for a period of time, even if it's just as little as 20 minutes, that's a lot for us. So if it's something that we really want to listen to, then obviously that's by choice. But when it's sort of forced on you, don't do well with that. So we had obviously lots of different speakers. We had Shan come and do a talk. We had Anushka Anastasia there who did a workshop and was interviewed. We had Maddie Cook do a talk. We had Lottie Seymour, all sorts. It was fantastic. We did a talk about education. No, it wasn't a talk about education. It was a talk about different career paths within the nail industry. So a little bit of that was education, content creation, session work, etc., etc. So that was in one room. And then whilst all that was going on, we had our Sunday market. Yeah.
Good one.
Sunday market where there was...
Do you see a pattern here with nail order on Sundays? It's just a thing.
Well, it all came off. We did Sunday service was a thing we used to do on a Sunday where we would do shout out to a nail tech on Instagram. Yeah. And then we were like, well, hang on. And it played into like the churchy thing that Nail Order is like got going on. And it was held in a church, an old church. Yeah. And it was on a Sunday. So it all just worked together. So yeah, we had the Sunday market, which was stalls or nail related stuff, but maybe stuff brands you wouldn't usually see at like a trade show. So that was really cool. And then we had an area where you could like network, eat, drink, and then we had workshops going on upstairs as well. So that was during the day. So it was something
and like the showroom, stockroom.
Oh yeah, we had the nail order room, which was so cool. There was like photo opportunities. There was all of our products you could buy. You could get free embroidery on merch. We had the palm reader. We had the candy floss stall. As I said, we had the workshops upstairs, various different workshops that people could do, nail art, business, etc. So yeah, there was something for everybody during the day, and it was just an excellent day. And people were commenting about how friendly everybody was and how diverse and inclusive it was, which was really important to us. So that was a daytime, and then we had the nighttime, which was at Tonight Josephine in Birmingham, and that was unreal. It was pretty much almost ended up being an open bar because we had that many drinks tokens. And we got sponsored by Tequila Rose, so there was unlimited shots of Tequila Rose.
Photo booth. Magician.
The magician was so good. It wasn't just like a standard magician. This was like a cool dynamo style magician.
Yeah, if you did stuff your iPhone and stuff, it was unreal.
It was really cool. And then of course we had Black Pepper from RuPaul's Drag Race, and food. So yeah,
people
it was
dancing with food.
Excellent, wasn't it?
One thing I would say just say for talking sake, Rebecca said that we wanted to do this and we not launched it on, say, August 28th. That's when Rebecca put into the world. That's what we're going to launch. That's what we're going to do. By September 1st, I had already had enough of this because really all of a sudden consumed people's lives to the point where they couldn't do their own job, which again would just piss me off because I'd really just want people to do the basics and get them right, and then they can do these types of things. I actually had to basically hire people to be able to sort this event.
I was like, if we're doing this... Like, the idea of an event had been floated around, and I can remember saying to Laura, I was really not very nice in my tone, totally not on purpose, but I was like, Laura, I'm thinking much bigger than you are here. Laura was like, an event, a smallish event, blah, blah, blah. Bear in mind, we'd never done we'd done like a little thing here when we opened our trade shop, but not really an event before. But if we were doing it, I wanted it to be perfect. Every single aspect was so... like incredibly thought of, the details, like even like the goodie bags, like the bag, the actual goodie bag itself, what was in it, the magazine, we had a zine, remember? That was amazing.
Was there any complaints about the day?
That I heard.
Because it doesn't make a difference how much thought you put into it, how much money you put into it.
I'll tell you the complaints we got. In fact, there's only one, I think. You might need to tell me if there's any more.
Quite a lot of people said there was not enough food.
No, not a lot of people. One person.
Oh,
One person complained to somebody who was working there that wasn't enough food. Can I tell you right now, guys? So much food got binned. So there was no way. And also, we didn't say, oh, it's an all-inclusive day. We were feeding and watering everybody pretty much all. There was enough food to support you for the day, but lots and lots of food got binned. We had breakfast food, like morning food. And then after all that got cleared away, the amount of that got binned, like the fruit platter, the pastries, so much got binned. And then there was lunchtime food. Again, loads of that got binned.
I mean, I'd say the only people actually complaining about anything was really the staff. They were like, they're starving and they were just working like proper straight through crew. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, okay, can we go grab something to eat? And I'm like, guys, there's nothing left.
But I think that was the only complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was nothing left because they clear it away and then it was gone. And then obviously we had loads of food, which so much got binned at night time.
One thing I would say, you touched on right at the very start, there's so much to do.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in the generation we're in just now, where we're all consuming and everything's quick and easy, like I know I can't sit through a movie just now.
We need to be entertained on multiple levels.
Yeah. And I think that gave it. And I think that's one of the differences maybe from a lot of other events. Whereas if you like, I can't consume a movie now.
No.
I can only consume 50 minutes on YouTube at one time and it's got to move on to something else, you know? And I think a lot of people are like that. So I can't sit and be talked, like you said, talked at, because that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like you're part of it if you're just being spoken at for like an hour and a half, stuff like that. That's not for me. So I think for that aspect of it, a lot of people really enjoyed that. Yeah. So is there one thing or a couple of things what would you change about it?
Well, actually, you've actually just reminded me. It wasn't a complaint, but it was just a suggestion. Was that people that did workshops felt that they missed out on a lot of the other day
because they were somewhere else. Because we were wanting everything to be going on all at the same time. So I think next time what we'll do, we've already started talking about what we would do, but next time we'll have maybe the workshops on at a specific time that doesn't overlap with, say, any other talks, but there'll still be like networking and shopping opportunities on at that time. So you're not missing out on anything too much. Maybe like condense the workshops down a little bit so they don't consume so much time. Yeah. I think it's a lot to try and jam into one day and to be able to like set up and break down.
Oh my God, the exhaustion, guys can't even imagine like the stress of setting that up.
I mean, like staff were on the go from 6 a.m. Laura woke up at like 4 to do her makeup, which is wild.
And she was really sick as well. She was so nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, the staff woke up at like 6 a.m. And then, well, Chris and I were the last people out there. We went
checked out
almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
I can't believe we made it all the way.
And then we woke up super early next morning, had breakfast,
drive back up the road,
and drove home with a van full of stuff. And then we went on holiday the next day.
Oh my God.
Yep. It's wild. And the thing is, we went on holiday. We went straight to our friends in Ohio. And it was no chill because they've got 4 young kids, so it's just on the go. They were all still off on vacation.
We decided to get a puppy.
Well, that segues into the next thing. So the event, you going to do another one?
Yes, we will. Now, here's the thing. I really want to do something completely different and even bigger, but I feel like what I've got in my mind is probably like a year of planning. Maybe not a year, but a long time. So the next event we will do, we'll probably do something pretty much the same as what we did, with different speakers and different workshops and stuff like that, but the same setup is what I mean.
What about September weekend?
Yeah, we were looking at September, October, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Stay
tuned, and if you'd like us to do another event, give us suggestions, put the comments below in the YouTube video, or head over to Chris and Becca TikTok and hit us up on there.
We should really post something on there because it's been quite a while.
I did something today.
Good.
Did you see that? No?
I've not seen it now.
Basically, I was just saying how fantastic I am in Boxing Day, picking and packing orders in the warehouse because, well, in case you guys don't know, we've got some event on just now, 15% off, and you get a free cup and everything
But they're not going to see this though, are they?
I know, but Backlash is, we thought, again, it's just going to be like under the radar because it was Christmas Day. Yesterday, mega day.
I know. But if you are watching this before the 31st of December, we do have our end of year extravaganza section on, which is 50% off. And it's not
at least 50%.
It's not a clearance section either. Like the majority of the items in there will just be back to full price on after the 31st. So yeah.
Okay, so it takes us on to, we went to America just to try and get like
well, I mean, this
10 days?
Isn't really nail order related. So.
I know, but we went away to get a couple of days away with some friends, and then we were heading down to Texas. We hired a camper van, and it was going to be beautiful. I wanted to go to...
I've just had flashbacks.
I wanted to go to Phoenix, Arizona, and Rebecca said, there's nothing there, let's go to Texas.
Okay, so Texas was having a cold snap colder than pretty much they'd ever had in the history of the world.
And Texans don't deal with negative, like 4,
Yeah,
-5.
so they don't know
plus
how.
wind chill. So they're not very good at it.
So we were hiring. Oh my god, it's all just come rushing back.
We hired a
oh
camper
my
van,
god.
and basically the guy, like, we got off the plane, we went straight to the place. We were early at it for pickup. The pickup was at 1 p.m. Between 1 and like 5. We got there at like 11 a.m. and said, like, is it available soon? And we were kind of hoping.
And he was like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, no problem. Basically, the guy, we sat there for 3 hours freezing our balls off because the guy couldn't get the waste pipe closed, and it's a different setup from the UK. So basically,
it was frozen.
Yeah.
Everything was frozen because they don't winterize the vehicles because they don't get cold temperatures. So they were like, yeah, we've never seen anything like this before. Long story short, they were like, "Are you happy to take it as it is?" They told us what to do, if they couldn't.
I said, look, we've had a camper van before. I'll take it. And as we drive, generally everything kind of heats up. You know, the engine heats up and stuff like that. So for the most part, it will heat up. But where we were going was colder. So by the time we got there,
-9.
Yeah, everything was like absolutely frozen. We had a poo disaster with a waste pipe. I'm not going to get into any more on that, but all I'm going to say is there was a frozen poo pipe that I had to break off and leave at the camp resort because we'll never be allowed back in Texas. I'm so sorry. And the whole entire time we argued a lot because when Rebecca and I.
It was really bad, guys, with the poo pipe. It was really terrible.
When Rebecca and I are in those situations, we seem to bicker a lot.
We do bicker a lot. But we were so uncomfortable because we were so cold. There was nothing we could do. There was no way we could do it. It was like everything just shut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because they weren't used to those temperatures.
Don't get me wrong. We did trap. We were chasing the heat. We were looking at like the maps where to go, and Rebecca was like, "If we go just like 200 miles like south or north or whatever, we'll get some heat." And we did eventually get a little bit of heat, and everything melted.
Oh yeah, Bandera,
Bandera,
cowboy capital of the world.
Yeah. We went to wine country. It was
We
really
did,
weird.
and let me tell you, Texas. I'm sorry, Texans, if you are listening, but you cannot make wine. Chris and I do not drink wine, but dear God, it was not good wine.
No.
But anyway, let's get back onto nail order stuff. That trip ended up with us flying back to our friends and buying a puppy on a whim and flying him home, and that has kind of affected the rest of our year, hasn't it?
It has affected our year, but you guys probably know that based on the podcast if you listen to it. So besides the puppy, we came back, we got settled into the year, and our first launch was
Flexi gel, I think.
Flexi
Gel.
What's Flexi?
So that's our rubber base, and that is such a popular product. The retention is so good, which is why I think people absolutely adore it.
And that segued us into the Easter sale.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to sales, I think we're getting better at being prepared.
We try.
Easter sale, were we prepared?
No.
What the heck happened? Why was it so busy?
Because there was
that controversy.
there was controversy in the industry, so everybody was jumping ship.
Prices.
Now, remember that we only launched our gels. Our gel polish was in October 2023, and I think the Builder gel and hard gel might have been November, like a month later. I think it was actually. Now I'm remembering that.
Yeah.
So by the Easter sale, we'd only had our gels for like 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months. So it was a slow burner. It was a slow burner with the gels. But Easter sale went boom.
Easter sale was. I hate talking numbers, and I'm not going to, but I just want to put something into context, into perspective. We did more in the first hour after launching the Easter sale, than we did the whole of the Thursday launch day of Black Friday.
The year before.
The year before.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. It's a bit scary because you and I are like at home together and we're like, this is great.
But how are we going to do
How are we
this?
going to pack this?
Like, I can remember thinking, this was like days and days after the Easter sale. At one point, I was like, we're never going to be done with this. Like serious thought. I was like, this is never going to be over. We're just going to be in here packing orders for the rest of our lives.
And it was a case of asking staff, can you do extra days and stuff?
Yeah.
You know?
It was a lot. And we weren't prepared because we had no idea. Obviously, like for Black Friday there, we were perfectly prepared.
Perfect.
Because you gather how busy your business is and then you sort of think, right, Black Friday or Easter, that's our 2 sales a year. You kind of know what you're going to do, but we couldn't. Easter, we could never have anticipated it. It wiped us out for a lot of stuff. People were waiting for quite a while for orders. Well, I say quite a while. I mean, by some other companies' standards, it was pretty much standard time. But for us, I'm like, somebody waiting 10 days, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, Easter was the greatest thing to happen to us, I would say.
changed their business.
It elevated us. It,
Yeah.
it gave us a little boost in terms of ahead of time,
Yep.
pushing us ahead of time, you know?
Yeah. Would you say at that point in time that's where you started to think to yourself, okay, we're now serious contenders, let's get staff in place?
Yeah, I think we probably did start thinking about it then,
I
didn't
think
we?
that's when we started to think about a rejig of staff, etc.
Yeah.
You know, get some systems in place. For instance,
Yes.
not long after that, we introduced the scanning system for the
Oh my-
warehouse.
I think with Easter, we were like, we can't go through this again. We're doing things manually in terms of order checking and having
Yeah.
a picker, having a packer. The mistakes were so silly and it was costing us a lot of money and it's not good for the customers. So yeah, when we got the scanning system in place, that is, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still issues with the scanning system. Nothing's perfect, but it was almost completely eradicated those silly type of mistakes.
Yeah. Easter, because there was issues, we got customer service in, didn't we? That's when we hired a dedicated customer service
I think you might
agent.
be right, yeah.
Because we've seen, this is, again, what Rebecca means by elevate the business. We're looking at, okay, these are the weak points, let's change them. And that was some of the weak points. Let's introduce something to make the picking and packing better.
Yeah.
If we make the picking and packing better, at least we get, if there is an error, let's get the customer service aspect of it right. So we hired someone for customer service.
Yeah. I was just picking orders down there earlier. And while I was doing it with the little basket and my phone and the thing, I was thinking, I wonder how long it'll be until this is completely gone and we're onto a different system, which is much more efficient.
Well, I've looked into the big barcode scanners because doing it on your phone can be quite fiddly.
Clunky, yeah.
It can be, especially with batteries and stuff. You know, we're okay because we've got kind of newer phones, but some of the staff have got slightly older phones. And most of the staff prefer to use their own phones.
Yeah.
So they can see the pop up on TikTok and be like, oh, I best go and see what Chris and Beck are doing.
That's exactly why.
Sure. So that takes us into summertime.
Yeah. So obviously we've got little launches happening. We had our Spring and Bloom collection launch. Dare to be Bare, was that 2023 or 2023?
23.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. I don't even know.
I don't even know either. Yeah, so we've got launches happening all over the place. I mean, this year we've obviously had more launches than ever before,
Yeah, later in the year.
especially later in the year.
What happened this summer? Did we do collaboration? Stop, collaborate, and Neba. That was funny.
Was it funny?
No, but that was funny how I thought of that. We did a collaboration with Neba for the Maldives scrub.
We did, but we did our LP collaboration
LP
as
collab.
well. What other collaborations have we done this year? Manicure Roulette.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a couple with the LP because we did the sanitizer and
Sanitizer, cuticle oils, and the e-file, which was a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we were away with Lucy in April.
Yes, we did go away with Lucy in April.
We sure
And we're
did.
going away with Lucy in April again next year.
See, there you go.
So yeah, loads and loads of launches this year. Summer, was it particularly?
Summer wasn't, and I think if I recall correctly, you and I spent a lot of time chasing our tail trying to get stock because we sold out a lot of stock in the Easter sale.
Yes.
I've been able to try and get it, and
Yeah.
we have had just stock issues all year.
And this is the thing, people need to realise that, you know, it takes something. So like Black Friday, again, we were perfectly positioned. Like we knew it, everything, stock was in, blah, blah, blah. But there's just certain other things that happen that you can't predict, and it has a knock-on effect through everything and it affects stock. Like we could never have predicted what happened at Easter, which then affected our stock, and people are going, oh, well, I don't want to invest in a brand that has stock problems. It's like, guys, we only released our gels 5 months ago. Like, hello, not well, the builder and hard gel, not even. So we need to get a little bit of slack given for that type of stuff. So yeah,
Things that you can't predict. One thing that you did predict, I would say, is hard gel,
Hard
the
gel.
rise of hard gel. And I remember you saying it so many times, this is going to be the year of hard gel.
I did. I said it so many times. I put it out there.
We were easily 6 months ahead of everyone else.
We were.
And I think that because of your love for it, when people watch our YouTube videos of old, actual nail order channel YouTube,
Yeah, because we don't have time to put anything on there. anymore.
they'll see like your love and passion for it and how it's changed. And everyone just jumped on that bandwagon. And I would say, I mean, I've got a lot of numbers and figures here. It's not the best selling thing we've got on the website by far, but the spike from not having it to from like say for instance Black Friday, wow, like there is a massive.
I mean, you
love for
see it. I mean, the other day when I was picking orders, I felt like I was picking Hote in every single order.
Yeah.
Hote is just
Our builder gel. I remember you saying, 5 builder gels plenty. Now we have 35, something like that.
something like that.
And we've just
Maybe
been picking orders down there. And I looked at a customer's order, and you get a free thermos cup when you spend £150. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, this customer's got 3 items. but they're getting a free thermos cup. This is weird. I went and scanned it, and if you scan it and there's more than one item, it tells you to scan more. So I was scanning it and scanning. And I'm like, oh, right, she's got 3 items, but she's got 5 pots of Rapture, 6 pots of Seraph. This is how they're doing it. And that's what it is. It's really, really popular. It is really, really good. So during the summer, you were working on new formula for builder gels.
Yes.
And that leads us on to our wrath of new launches.
Oh my God.
Probably starting off with, was it the autumn gel colours?
I don't even know what it started off with, and it was like boom, 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 boom. But I think you might be right. I think it might be like autumn gel colours, and then we were like, I launch every 2 weeks. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. There's a big saying in the industry, not our industry, but just
In the world.
in the industry, what? Able. Always be launching everything. And that's the route we took up to Black Friday. Just giving you guys like new launches all the time. New
It was
products,
kind of
new
by
launches.
accident, like it wasn't planned. It was just that everything came together at that one time, and we wanted to space it all out rather than launch like a million things at once. Yeah. So let's talk about the things that we did launch this year, which were completely new products. So FlexiGel was completely new line. Art Gel, completely new line. We've got our -4 Duragel. We've got our Lumi Spark lamp.
Yeah, sold out today. That was it.
I know, sold out. What other completely new lines do we have?
Thermobobs.
Thermo Pro, yep.
Obviously, all the Duragel was completely new. You just said -4, but our Duragel full stop. The regular and the -4.
Was that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So many things.
Yeah.
So many things. And already for next year. Well, we'll talk about next year later.
Out of the stuff that we have launched this year, what would you say is your favourite? What are you most proud of? Well, what would you say is your favourite, and then what would you say you're most proud of if they're different?
Okay. Most proud of is the new Angel formula.
Flipping heck. Do you know I was making you pancakes this morning and I kept thinking about the new Angel formula because as I was putting it into the frying pan, it just self-leveled and I was like, that's what she talks about, that builder.
Definitely most proud of that.
Do you put blueberries in your Angel? No,
because I worked with the chemists back and forth to make the changes and things like that. So I am proud of that. Very proud of that.
What about that new colour you've got? Is that being made yet? The one you just made up?
Oh, the one I made up. It should be, but yeah, there's so many things. I'm like, hang on a minute. We placed those orders months ago. What is happening? There's just been so many projects, so I need to give them a little push at the beginning of the year. So we've got a whole new. Okay, let's talk about that soon. Hold yourself back. Most proud of that. What do I love? I love the Thermo Pro. I know there's a whole load of controversy about mug warmers and stuff in the industry, but people need to realise that this isn't to warm your gels or cool your gels to make them the desired viscosity. It's to make them back to room temperature, the optimal viscosity. So yeah, that's a really, really great little device. I love it.
Well, it took you a while to get that right as well. Mm-hmm. It's not just, again, when it comes to Rebecca, it's not just off the shelf. If it was just off the shelf, our life would be much easier. It would probably be much richer.
Yes. But again, a lot of people think, oh, same with lamps and stuff. Oh, these are all just off the shelf and you just pop your branding on it. No, and more no's. A lot of things can look the same on the outside, but on the inside, completely different.
Yeah.
Certifications and stuff as well. People don't realise. Like CE marking, UKCA, etc.
I feel like I've worked on something this year, but I can't think of anything that I've introduced. Oh, I built this whole place. Sorry.
The shelves? Oh, no, that was last year.
Iridescent shelves and stuff like that. We built this place. That was a good one in the summer. That's what we're working on in the summer. Mm-hmm. Oh, I ran a 10K, nothing to do with nail order, but I did. It's the last time I ran it.
Did a 10K once, that was it, put my boots away.
And that took us through to Black Friday. We had a massive Black Friday sale. It was good. There was no issues. Pretty straightforward.
Black Friday was great.
Black Friday was great. Got a lot of staff in place.
We did.
We have increased our staff from the start of the year. Do you know how many there were at the start of the year?
Do you?
Yes, 9.
Really?
Yep. To 19. Which is wild. I doubled the amount of staff.
I think it actually is 20, including me.
You're not on payroll yet?
No, I'm not on payroll.
When does that happen?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I think January sounds like a great time.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, just the increase of staff is crazy.
But it does make things so much better. Like BJ.
Yes. Godsend.
He does
our web design.
Yes.
Not web design, the back end web stuff. So we have introduced a lot of new, and we will be introducing a lot of new stuff on the website we're doing live January 1st.
I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
Maybe. yeah, just to make the user experience much better, to make it different from just a basic Shopify store, to introduce certain things that just make your life better, easier, just overall better.
Do you want to release what they are now or no?
Let's do that for the future thing. So before we get into the future stuff, let's just recap on, because this is what everyone wants to know.
Yes. Okay, our best sellers for the
Our
year.
best sellers for the year. And I am shocked. I'll tell you something, right? I woke up at 4 when you got up with the dogs this morning. I heard you getting up. So I got up, did a wee, back to my bed. Couldn't get to sleep right away.
I couldn't get to sleep either, and I heard you not being able to sleep.
And I thought of the podcast we're going to record today. And I thought, I'm just going to have a quick look just to see what the best sellers are. All right? What do you think the best-selling cuticle oil is? And moreover, what's it been since we launched cuticle oils?
It's always been Sugar Fairy, right? And I obviously was just on figures a minute ago. So I did see something. But I don't know if you've taken into consideration the 6-packs as well.
Nah, I've not.
See,
I'm just going for the top line bestseller.
Pick a mix. Yeah, I saw what it was, but you didn't take into consideration 6-packs. So
So if you're listening at home or you're watching along, I want you guys to guess along with us. So Sugar Fairy has been the best-selling cuticle oil for the last 4 years.
Yep.
But this year, Brazilian Booty.
Pick a mix. Sold more.
Brazilian Booty. But also, right, here's another thing. I hate doing pick and mix because it
I hate doing pick a mix.
rips my knitting. That's a very Scottish thing to say. It rips my knitting. Brazilian Booty, followed by Raspberry Lemonade, then Coco Loco,
And then Sugar Fairy.
then 1 in a Million, and holding up the rear almost, Sugar Fairy.
Right, but if you toggle that to 6-packs,
But I'll also say one thing. We had Sugar Fairy out of stock for about a month. Shouldn't make too much difference. Just based on these numbers, I mean, there's a few hundred in it. But yeah, that's the thing. What do you think the best-selling sanitizer was?
okay.
You're right, it's Sugar Fairy.
It's Sugar Fairy. Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Okay, best-selling, just the best-selling product. What do you think the best-selling product is? Do you know?
In terms of numbers, is it Top Coat?
It's Top Coat. But here's the thing. I mean, I'm looking
There's
at...
hardly anything in it with Ultima, right?
No, it's huge. Over 1,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's a lie because the Top Coat, that's just Top Coat sold on its own.
Not including
Not
bundle
including
kits.
all the bundles. Think about the amount
Jesus.
I mean, that's
Thousands and thousands.
thousands and thousands. Yeah, then after that, Ultima Gel.
Of course, it's Ultima Gel.
Of course, there's Ultima Gel. If you've never tried Ultima Gel, what's Ultima Gel?
It's our rubber base, but it's the clear version, and people just go mental for it. Retention's unreal.
Do you know what is in the number 3rd place? And I bet nobody will get this one.
Oh.
I couldn't even. I was shook to
Was
my
it gloves?
core. Gloves is number 4.
I saw it. What was it? Go. Is it a refill bag?
No, because normally refill bags, as in the tip refill bags, are normally right up there. And nail files normally right up there. Not even in the top 5. Tip trial bags.
Wow.
And let me tell you something. I've noticed recently some people have been ordering tip trial bags and they'll order like 10 at a time. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Maybe like 3 or 4 of one style. And I think it's people who don't really do extensions anymore. They don't want to buy a box. They don't want to refill their box. So they're just getting a few of these bags at the one time, which then says to me, we're going to need to up those orders because we can see a trend here.
I would still say financially you are much better having a box, working from the box and just refilling the refill bags, especially when you take time into consideration and separating them all out. I had to use a refill bag recently and that was a nightmare.
All right. What is the best-selling gel colour? Gel colour.
Blanc, followed by noir,
Obviously.
followed by...
Do you know this?
Yes,
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay.
I was actually surprised at this. I was very surprised.
No, because actually I've had to restock that shelf as in gold. Like,
Obviously, I'm assuming that's just recently.
yeah, specifically.
So the best seller after black and white, let's not include black and white. So that means the best selling colour is Luby Glitz,
Correct.
followed by I Do.
Correct.
Yes.
And then, just for talking sake, Caliente.
Caliente. And that doesn't take into consideration all the Calientes that are in kits.
Yeah.
So,
Did Caliente go to Nail Mail as well?
yes. Did you sign that out?
No, man.
Cool.
So that's a lot of Caliente. That's
A
probably
lot of
all we're taking,
Calientes.
actually. So yeah, there you go. Next one, the best-selling gel.
Angel. Seraph.
Seraph, of course. it is.
Obviously.
Seraph.
But I'm telling you, Peace is going to overtake that next year when we have Peace in bottles. Already Peace in a pot is definitely our best-selling pot.
Stand by. I'm just looking for the next one. Oh, Cherub. And then Faith. Yeah. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Obviously, we've only just released the other colours not very long ago. So,
do you want anything else while I'm here?
Best-selling tip style was short almond in boxes.
Oh, in boxes. Oh, you're right. Sorry. And refill bags as well.
Short almond. No wonder it's stunning.
Okay.
Stunning. And Duragel, we don't even need to look. It's
sorry,
hot.
Mine in refill bags was medium almond. Sorry.
Oh.
Medium almond. And what did you say?
We don't even need to look at Duragel. It's hot.
So that's a good recap of the year. That all aligns with what I would have said would have been a good one. I mean, I'm looking here. Primer, a big seller. X-Prime, big seller. But they two are almost the same. So if you put it into one product. Nitrile gloves.
Gloves. We've sold a lot of gloves.
Gloves? Acetone? Surprised at how
really Acetone's up there.
Really up there. I mean, we do 3 different sizes, but yeah, we're.
Well, you were saying that our manufacturer of acetone says that we sell more acetone than they sell, and they sell on Amazon.
Yes.
And we sell more than them.
That says something.
That does say something.
Yeah, and he's more than happy to supply us with lots of other things, but Rebecca won't do it. What's the other thing? Oh, I'm not even going to because you'll tease people. Do you know something? I've got a pain in my backside, literally, and I'm trying to work out what it is, and I've just realised. Stand by. It's a Stanley knife. This is dangerous, so I'm just going to pop that down now. I've obviously been sitting around too long.
So looking to next year?
So let's look into next year. Mm-hmm. We're going to start the new year with some new launches. Not new launches.
Well, it's not going to be New Year-ish. I mean, you're probably looking to February, I imagine. I know, much to your dismay.
Honey,
things take the time that they take, Christopher.
Honey, look, we had a deal. We're going to launch new things on January 1st. So,
that's next week. We don't have any new things.
Because Rebecca is slacking in her job of product design.
This is nothing to do with me.
I have had to pull up the rear. Me, BJ, the rest of the crew, we are going to be introducing some new cool things to the website.
Okay, cool. But I mean, all the products, that has nothing to do with me. I mean, these orders were placed a long time ago, but things just take so much longer these days. I mean, even our UK gel manufacturer, when we started using them, there was a 4-week lead time. Now there's an 8-week lead time. Yeah. That's just in a year. So it's a bit of a nightmare.
One thing I would say with Rebecca, especially with the UK manufacturer, because we're working so closely with them, you're constantly like, oh, let's do this. Let's introduce the new colour. Let's develop this new product and all the rest of it. So they're trying to catch up and they're trying to get their ducks in a line. To be able
and obviously they'll have work for other people to do as well. Yeah. So we do have a very exciting launch from them coming up. I'm hoping February. It's a completely new product. I'm really excited about it. People are going to love it.
That means it's going to be released on this February 14th.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's love. Yeah, I doubt it.
Right into the world.
But so that's exciting. We'll have new colours of Duragel coming as well.
So we're going to catch up with the -4 and the regular Duragel will align better.
They'll align. It was all meant to be done at the same time, but things are just taking a long time. But yeah, new colours in them coming as well.
Would you say, I mean, I was picking all this today, and I'd say it's still 50-50 between -4 and regular.
Yeah.
So if it stays that way, are you going to keep both? Or
I'm just going to continue just to gather people's feedback and see what happens the first couple of months of the year.
Okay.
So yeah, there's going to be so many exciting new things. Earlier in this year, I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do next year? How are we going to do any new products? And already I'm like, bam, 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 bam.
It's one thing I will say that I have pushed for slightly. I kept saying, let's just do it. I can't say what it is, but something's making a comeback.
Do you want to tell me and then delete it? Oh wait, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know if I have got the time to put into that. I feel like I need somebody else to help me in my job. Like, I feel like I need another nail tech to work alongside me. It's something I've been thinking about the last little while.
Send your CV to Becca at.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're letting yourself in for. But I feel like I need a nail tech to work alongside me that I can train in exactly my way. Maybe they don't need to be a nail tech then. Maybe it just needs to be the right person that I can train to be a nail tech. I don't know. We'll think about that.
It'd be good if, do you know what? Actually, I'll put this out into the world. An older person who's been around the block a few times, or just been around the block one time. So they've maybe seen
an experienced nail tech.
An experienced nail tech who have seen trends, maybe like a 10-year nail tech. In fact, I was listening to, I must have been Shan's podcast again, and this person had been a nail tech for 8 years, and they were like, I've seen so many trends, and it's all coming back around, and it's going to come back around again. And I'm thinking 8 years. I mean, that's what we call cyclical in the industry. Everything 7, 8 years is cyclical. So yeah, maybe someone kind of that 10 years experience might be good. Someone who doesn't want to get into training, because I find a lot of nail techs, they're a nail tech for 10 years and they're like, I want something better, so they get into training.
This is true. You just reminded me of a whole heap of things, projects that I've started and not done anything with. So that's good. We've already locked down all of our colours right through the year, except winter is the only one we've not done.
And you've got the collection names made up and stuff like
Everything's
that?
done. How many colours is that already? Around 30, I think.
So that'll take us up to the 200.
Not quite. By the time we've got winter in there and that, yeah, we should end on 200 for next year.
Cutie colours? There was supposed to be a launch January 1st of new scents, but
that's not our fault again. We've already got maybe 4 new scents done. I'm just really trying to get ahead next year, like really get ahead.
Get the basics done.
Yeah, because if I can get the basics done and out of the way, and what we're talking about there is like our gel collections, our cuticle oils, then I don't need to think about them anymore and I can work on new stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Gives you more time to kind of focus on the new stuff.
So I'd like to get winter locked down in the next couple of weeks.
So how far in advance we are?
Yeah.
Are you thinking about like new colours that are coming out this year, trending things, or do you just go for your...
At the moment, I look for gaps in our collection because, again, our gels, we've only had them for a year. I think we've got most bases covered. There was some things that cropped up throughout the year. I'm like, okay, we don't have that, we don't have that, we don't have that. A glittery green, don't have a glittery green. So that's something that we need. What other things? A really, really dark brown. Just a really, really dark, like darker than cinnamon. That's fine, got that sorted. Yeah, just a few little things that just need to be peppered in. I don't think there's any need to have like 600 colours or anything like that. I think...
Remember what she said about Angel?
God, I know. I'd like to work on specialist colours as well, but that's something we're trying to work with our UK manufacturer with. So yeah.
I think the biggest problem with this podcast is you want to give a little, but you can't say too much.
I know. Something that we know that there's a gap on is the jelly colours or glass colours. Problem is, and this is an industry-wide problem, a gel that is free from HEMA, HPMA, IBOA, DiHEMA, that is a jelly colour that is completely clear and not cloudy. I've not seen one. And that's a problem that everybody keeps coming up against. So that's something that we are...
Again, that's a -4 product. You're trying to...
It is a -4 product, but hopefully my chemist friend thinks he might be onto something with pigments. So fingers crossed.
Okay. I could probably give some things away and just say warehousey. We are trying to expand in a more efficient way, just with shelving, to be able to cram more products in. But oh Christ, everybody needs an update. Chris's forklift.
Oh God! Oh my
dead.
God!
So the thing is, I've been too busy focused on you for this podcast, as I am at every single podcast, and I never speak about myself. Last week, the last week of the year, the last 10 days, maybe in fact, last 2 weeks, I've been trying to do a stock take. Now, if you think of how many millions of products we have in our warehouses, between both warehouses, it's been all go. There were some days I was in there for like 5-6 hours just in the forklift, moving stuff. Now, I've spoke about my forklift being not very good because it's a lot older than probably Rebecca.
It's all we could afford at the time.
It's all we could afford at the time. And one day I was reversing it. I was literally 6 pallets away from the finishing the stock take and reversing, and it just stopped. Just stopped working. There is electricity going to it, but it will not move forwards, backwards. It will not move up or down. And I had to borrow one of the neighbour's forklifts, and his forklift's a lot bigger than mine, so it doesn't fit into my racking. So basically, I just had to handball, jump up into a pallet and count gel polish.
Do you want to tell people the good news, though? Go on, you
I
tell.
alluded to this a long time ago, that something special was coming.
The good news is that he had already... Go on.
Ordered a new forklift.
Are you going to flash it up on the screen?
I am not. It is on its way, guys. And I can tell you, I was tracking it this morning again at 4 a.m. when I was doing it. It's on a vessel coming from China. I had it custom. It's custom made. I'm not saying anything else. It is custom made, not to my specification, to Neil specification. I'm never going to be able to resell this on. And that may give you a hint of what it could looks like. But it is being made in China, and all I'm just going to say to you is, if I can get it here to the UK, it's currently off the coast of Spain. It's going to Rotterdam first. The ship's got to do an unload in Rotterdam, head to Felixstowe. If I can get it here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm good. I'm good. Any longer than that, and there's no nail files, because they're the top of the racking.
There's no nail files.
There's no nail files. Because the forklift that I have, the dead one, it can reach like 4.5 meters. The new one, 4.5 meters. The guy across the street, maximum 3 meters. How big's my racking? A lot bigger than 3 meters. And I can tell you something, there is like probably 100,000 nail files on the top rack.
Well,
I know. So anyway, that was me. Back to me.
so there you go. That's something exciting to start the year with.
That is something exciting.
So yeah, we've got lots of launches. We've got that. And do we want to talk about the website? So the changes? Because obviously, what date will this go out? So 27, 28, 29, 2 days before.
Yeah, I mean,
For
to listen to this
the
anyway.
70 people that listen to this, then yes, we've got a few changes coming on the website, really exciting ones, things we've been working on for a long time.
An item that we still don't know 100% the name of it, but for now, I think we're going to call it Stockroom.
Okay, let's call it that for now.
Stockroom.
So a lot of you guys, especially on our Facebook group, if you're not on our Facebook group, make sure you join. Nail order tips and advice. It's always a conversation about, is there a list where I can see, like, where I can tick off the colours I've already bought, etc., etc. And this has been something that we've been wanting to release about a year and a half, maybe a bit longer.
When we first developed the gel polish, that was something we spoke about.
There was a lot of things that we spoke about at the time, and some things might come to fruition in the future.
A lot of it was money dependent and talent dependent. I didn't have the talent to do it, and that's just the way it was.
And we didn't have a web designer or web developer at that time. We did it until we brought BJ and we did everything ourselves. So yeah, something we wanted to do for a long time was some way that you guys could see all the colours that you have ordered in one place, where you could see essentially all the swatches in one place. You could see the colours that you've ordered. You could see the ones you've not. You could select ones from it. So that is what will be. And
I'm just going to say, the visual representation is great. We're still going to be working on it throughout January and February.
So it'll be a bit of a beta version when we first release it.
That's a good one, yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. But basically it'll display visually, you look at it and it will look like a stockroom shelf.
And yes, it will talk to your old orders once you've already placed.
So for instance, if you have black, white and say acid, because that's one of the first ones, it will be blacked out because you'll have it. If it's a gel colour you don't have, it'll be greyed or white out. So you know that that's one you can just quickly add to cart or add to your wish list.
So we're very excited about that.
Yeah.
Something else which is I still need to complete on the website. Actually, I need to do that tomorrow. You guys might have seen it already. We have a new sort of, what would you call it?
Sliding matrix.
Yes. So it'll show you the opacity of a gel, its viscosity, its flexibility, etc. So you can have a visual representation of that.
So it's on a sliding scale, so you can work out if it's very sheer or very opaque.
And that's on each individual colour.
Which we've been working on. That's the data entry for that is a long time.
Because we've got to re-swatch them all, decide on what number we're landing on, which is subjective in itself.
I was going to say that, yeah.
So bear in mind that all of these things are subjective in terms of like how opaque something is. What else have we got? New shipping option?
We're going to be launching that new shipping option to
That's kind of soft launched right now.
Yeah, it's just off just now, but yeah. So we've been testing it.
It's off just now. How are people? Oh, we just
previous,
it was
yeah.
like,
So we've been testing it. We've been working with DPD closely for a long time and Royal Mail, but we wanted to introduce a third carrier, Every, which people would be like, "Oh yay," and other people would be like, "Oh god,
no.
that's terrible."
And I would never select it myself.
One thing I would say is, our Every guy who we work with here, great guy.
He's good.
Whatever happens after that, we have no control over.
Yeah. So a lot of people were complaining about shipping, and in fact, I just want to touch on this quickly. So people are like, "Oh, you can get free shipping, such and such." We do offer free shipping over certain amounts, so it's over £99 before VAT, or during sale times, it's over £150 before VAT. We think to introduce free shipping all around, number one,
all the time.
We would have to increase our prices across the board to account for that.
If it's free, it's never free.
Correct. Nothing is free. Just think about it for 1 second. Just think about logic. Somebody's paying for it somewhere and it ain't the business. Number two, we are very passionate about the environment and reducing our carbon footprint. We had our carbon baseline done earlier in the year. We have separate bins, so we split all the rubbish. So there's recycling. We plant 1,000 trees a month from our own pockets, as in nailers' pockets. So we are very passionate about that. If we did free shipping, what that would encourage is people to just keep placing orders
every day.
And it would just, instead of placing one bigger order, they place multiple smaller ones, and that's really bad for the environment because every one of those parcels has its own carbon footprint.
Yeah.
So
one thing I would say is I've noticed some customers. And we especially notice it because some of you guys will message and be like, I've placed an order last night, but I need to add something to it. Can you do that? Yeah, of course, no problem.
Yeah, that's what we discussed as well.
Some people don't. Some people just place multiple orders and hope that you refund some of their shipping.
I don't know if people do hope that, but we do it anyway. But like you're alluding to, that was the other thing we discussed, is that so often we get a message, like I've been doing it Christmas Day yesterday even, and today, can I add to my order? So we will go on and we will manually add to the order. It's not something that we should really do. And as the business grows, it's probably not going to be something that we can continue to do. But if we just had free shipping on, all that person would do instead of adding on another product is they would just place another order.
Correct.
And that is terrible for the environment.
Yeah. It's Amazon-tastic in a way.
Yes, it is. It is. But even Amazon try and encourage you to...
Well, they've had to start because of the carbon taxes and stuff,
Yeah.
We are trying to be as carbon neutral as possible, and we're trying to do everything in our back end to be able to do so. And by introducing free shipping across the board, that's just absolutely negative. It just wipes out everything we've ever tried to do.
Yeah. I mean, DPD, they do have a carbon offset that we pay.
Yes.
So there is that. But yeah, we just don't think it would be responsible environmentally or economically to offer completely free shipping. So we're not. So we brought in Every. I'm not an Every lover. Some people like them, some people don't. But we understand how frustrating it is for people when they're only wanting to order one item. But if that is you, go back and listen to the podcast. We talked about bulk buying and how it is a time, you are costing yourself money by time and delivery by ordering one item. You should never be having to order one item. See if it happens accidentally once a year. Okay, it happens. But it shouldn't be happening. Because if you're buying one item, it's telling me that that's an item that you were desperate for and you really need. And you shouldn't be running out of those things. So maybe something to think about.
When I pull Rebecca off her high horse, it happens to the best of us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it happens once a year or whatever, like it's going to happen occasionally, but it's not something that you should be like. But
I'm
going
to play devil's advocate. And a lot of people don't have a lot of cash all the time, especially if you're just starting out. So maybe
but
just
they're wasting
buying
so much money on
I
delivery.
Know, honey, I know. But
breaks my heart.
Yes, but we've all been there. So if you are starting out and you are buying just every couple of weeks, every option might be better for you. It's half the price of DPD, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's not.
Is it $3.99?
I think
it's $3.99.
Okay, so it's a couple of pounds cheaper than DPD.
Mm-hmm.
It will take a lot longer to come. It won't be as tracked as well,
no.
And it's not insured for the whatever it is, £100 the DPD cover.
It's £20 every cover.
£20, so that's certain things to take into consideration. But we have listened to you guys, so we have been trialing it softly pre-Christmas when it's been really quiet, and we've had thankfully no issues.
Oh, you've said it now. We've not checked the customer service emails.
But we'll see how things go. Again, we're listening to you guys and we're trying to do our best, but also be responsible for everything else.
We would rather use Royal Mail, but...
No, we wouldn't.
Really?
First of all, the postman comes in. He complains if there's any more than 10 parcels, which there is every single day.
There is a few issues with Royal Mail.
What else have I got? Right, so he complains, he tells us lies.
He does his lies.
He does his lies. You gave him a tip for Christmas as well, you bitch.
Because I'm thinking that maybe
no.
Right, we already let him use our
toilet. So he lies and says he can only take 10 a day, where any other postman that comes, they don't care. They just whack out the van.
There's so much space in that van.
Yeah. The thing is, there's always more than 10. So why doesn't he just say, I can't take any more than 30? And we'll be like, all right, okay, no problem, whatever. At sale time, I have to apologise for him. And I actually feel bad and have to pack the Royal Mail stuff into my van and take it to the guys at Royal Mail. And they're like, why are you doing this, mate? And I'm like, because the guy complains. Anyway, moreover, he comes in and he poos in a toilet every single day.
Every single day.
He comes at different times. So does he plan his coffee in the morning? Does he have like fried eggs and just like, I'll tell you what.
Chris, that's only you. No egg, no poo, right?
All I'm going to say is,
he does, guys. He really does.
Every guy does not poo in our toilets.
This is true. But what I would rather we use Royal Mail because I think it's slightly more reliable, but it doesn't integrate with our system like the other, like every and
DVD.
DVD does. So I do wonder if they'll introduce it one day. They probably will, but
The thing is, we are very fluid at Nail Order. We roll with the punches and we try not to be fixated on certain things.
Yeah.
We try to give you guys the best.
suck it and see.
Sorry?
Suck it and see.
What's that mean?
You've never heard the saying?
I have, but it's not in the context.
Suck it and see. Like, give it a go and see what happens.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So we'll try things. That's how we're going to go for this year. We're going to try new things this year. I was going to get onto something and I've forgotten what it is.
Oh, good.
It was a recap. Oh, I've got it. Before we get out of here, because it's getting to that time, is there anything, because I feel we've been relatively positive about this. Let's bring it back down a bit.
Oh.
Super negging. Let's finish on a negative. No, I'm kidding. But is there anything that you would change about this year? Anything you've learned? Anything you won't do next year? Because I've got a couple.
Oh, okay, you go first, then I'll think about mine.
Don't be a dick and just buy the right boxes for Black Friday.
Oh, yeah. And the peanuts.
Peanuts were fine. Peanuts were fine. Peanuts were fine. I've got more to add to it, so just you slow your roll, okay? I waited for a special offer on Black Friday to buy a pallet of boxes, a certain size of boxes. It's a vital size of boxes at Black Friday time. Not really throughout the rest of the year because orders are smaller.
Literally the most popular size
But
box.
the most popular size of box at Black Friday, and they didn't come until the Tuesday. So we were packing orders the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, makeshifting boxes, and that was my
That was slowing us down, costing us money.
So that was my boo boo.
Okay. That's it.
I've got another one. But
Okay.
I'll let you go.
Oh. Oh, I'm just like, how far do I take this? See, the thing is, I don't believe in regret. I just think that every mistake you make is a lesson for the future. Like it.
So what mistake have you made this year that you've learned from?
Well, here's the thing. Never trust anything anyone says because the products aren't ever going to come when they say they are. That's one. Don't ever, ever put things on pre-order. Every time we've done it. Every single time we've done it. It messes things up. We've done it. I think we've only ever done it twice.
Did kind of mess up by leaking the art gels like 4 months before we
Whose fault
launched
was
them.
that?
It wasn't my
And
fault.
do you know what? It's not your fault because they should have been. We should have had the art gels.
May? April, May?
Yeah, well, I think we put the order in like February or something like that.
You were working on them in January. That was one of the first projects
Yeah.
you were working on.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. We should have had them way before. They should have been launched by June, easily. So that was a bit of a situation. Go on. What's your next one?
So again, we can see a pattern here. We use a company called SendPulse, or we have used a company called SendPulse to send our mass emails on a Monday and a Thursday, and they announced just before Black Friday that they were almost doubling their prices. Now, SendPulse at the time when we started using it, it was
Are you guys seeing a pattern here that Chris doesn't like spending money, and that Chris is the absolute king of wasting his time and not realizing that it has a value.
So I decided that if they're going to put the price up, I'm going to move to somebody else. So I moved over to Zoho, who we use as an email server. So I thought integration, seamless. Everything's going to be flawless. And I did this the week of and before Black Friday. So all those countless emails that Laura had spent a lot of time on, and yes, Laura, you do spend a lot of time on emails. She'd made up all these emails and I started to send them out. And one thing we realised quite quickly is if I sent an email saying that Black Friday is launching tonight at 7 p.m, for example, and I sent that at 6 p.m, it wasn't getting to some people's inboxes until like a week later or like 4 days later.
It's great.
Which I would say hampered us for our end of year target that we have now of the new target.
The new target.
I could have maybe done that. So that's 2 things that I've done this year that I will learn for in future that I will never do again. We're back to SendPulse. You're probably getting emails and everything's hunky-dory. You're probably wondering, what the heck happened to our Black Friday sale? You weren't aware of it. It's probably still on its way to your inbox. So yeah, that's 2 things that I have done this year that I am regretful for. There you go, straight up. And I will learn.
Excellent.
Let's bring it back around the high. Chris got a new van. Yes. I feel like I'm like this is really weird that I'm saying that I don't want to spend money on like packing peanut. I want 10% off on boxes, but we bought a new van. It's kind of weird, but needs must. Rebecca said I get a new van, so I'm going to flash up on the screen what I've been up to on Christmas Eve. And yes, I took some boy time out just to spend some time. Me and the van. Me and the van. So it's black, and we're going to brand it nail order. We're going to have drippy drips all over it, and it's going to be cool. I was thinking, do you remember the A-Team? Remember their black van? Mm-hmm. Yeah, could do it like that, couldn't we? I'm very Hannibal Lecter. Not Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal. Oh God.
Hannibal Lecter.
No, Hannibal from or Face.
Remember that guy in Nashville in that bar who's the security guy in the bar, Mr. T?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway.
Okay, so is there anything you're super looking forward to this year? Like for me, like I know we've been talking targets recently with like some of the staff setting new targets and expectations with some people. With us, we have set targets of what we're looking to achieve this year. What we've just done in the last year has blown my mind. What we're looking to do next year, I think, is very understated.
I do not.
I think we could easily bump that up.
I don't. I do not.
Keep
I'd love it if we did.
Keep buying things, guys. Make us get to our targets.
I would love it if we did, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I do think if you're an LTEC at home just now and you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, oh God, we're going into the new year. Maybe I should start thinking about targets. What are some targets that maybe if you were an LTEC, you'd be setting yourself?
I mean, I'm not sure I'd set myself targets in terms of like finances, like earning specific amount of money, but maybe more like what we were talking about in the previous episode, like setting money aside and stuff for covering for holidays and things like that. Yeah. Maybe a wee review of your prices, make sure you are charging enough.
Yeah, I think a financial review is always good at the start of the year. I think recently, I seen something I was actually on that thing. What's that platform that people scroll through? TikTok, that's the one. And I was looking at this guy was showing you, if you go into Tesco app or whatever it is, you can do like a reorder. So you just reorder your favourite things, or some people just reorder the same grocery store shopping every week or whatever.
Crazy.
I didn't know this. We probably should because we only eat three different meals.
Literally.
So this guy hadn't done it. So he was doing it from 2020 and he just hit reorder. So the bill in 2020 was £156. Do you know how much it was this time?
How much?
£416.
No.
460. That is wild.
A lot of that has to be alcohol, I'm telling you right now. It can't have been. It can't.
Yes. 4x.
The alcohol situation, when I was buying you beer the other day, I just couldn't believe it.
Here in Scotland, we have a new alcohol tax, which is just ripping everyone off.
So you guys, in England, we were in England not that long ago, and a case of this exact same beer, the same number of beers, the same size cans, everything exactly the same, from the same shop, so from Tesco, was like £10 something. Here it's £17.81.
It's wild.
£7 more, almost double.
And that's a light beer.
Yeah, that's light beer.
I don't think it makes any difference the further you go up in terms of the percentage. I think it's just pretty standard.
Because it's minimum pricing. Yeah.
So I really should just drink stronger beer.
Please no. But yeah, it's absolutely wild. I can't believe that. I need to see what you'd ordered. I'd need to see for that to make any sort of sense in my head.
Well, there you go. So it just goes to show that everything's up in there. I was looking at our energy costs for the house, £2,800 a year. I remember, fair enough, we've got electric vehicles now and we do use a lot more electricity than before. But I remember was
it like £89 a month or something?
The top end was like 950 quid.
Wow.
It's mental.
It really is.
It's mental. So yeah, financial review of a lot of things I think is one thing to take into consideration. Do you know what year it isn't? It's not El Nino. So we are going to have a hot summer, boys and girls. Which leads me on to a personal goal that I want to get back into running again and back into the gym.
Yes.
I feel like we have been lazy slobs, especially in the last, I'd say since Black Friday or a couple of weeks before Black Friday. We've not been at the gym.
It's actually been August. We were last at the gym.
Eating crap.
It's been bad.
So I think we need to get back into it. Mm-hmm. We are going to Stagecoach Festival in America with Lucy and Sean. And I'm just going to say it. And if I say it in the pod, it'll come true.
We're going to hold him accountable, guys. He's going to say it on record. Go. What are you saying?
I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to have a 6-pack.
Of beer?
No, I am going to have a 6-pack.
Okay.
I'm going to be wearing a cowboy hat. I'm going to have a waistcoat on, like a suede waistcoat, unbuttoned with a six-pack. And probably a big V of sunburn. Because I'm going to be in Indio, California.
Okay, so you better get to the gym ASAP, Rocky.
Six-pack.
Okay.
Six-pack.
Cool.
What are we doing the first weekend of the year?
We have our...
We're not going to the gym. We're going to
we have
staff
staff night away. Well, it's 2 nights away, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Is there anything else you're looking forward to?
Just seeing where the year takes us.
Are you going to have a six-pack?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe. Maybe I'll have a six-pack.
You're beautiful the way you are. I don't have to do anything.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
On that sentimental note, do you want to get us... Oh, God, I should have thought about this before. Do you want to get us out here?
As always, guys, if you enjoyed that, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Comment below to let us know what your goals are for next year and what you'd like to see Nail Order release next year. And be sure to subscribe to be notified when we release our next video.
Tune in alone Sunday, all the tea getting spilled. Nail text, talking game, keeping it real, y'all gon' feel. From designs to the drama, every secret they reveal. Stay sharp, stay tuned, man, you know it's the deal.